Welcome back to the InterSleuths. We are going to be starting a new series playing Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access for you all to enjoy. I am your host Voidlock, and joining me will be one of the other sleuths, Grim North. In this playthrough, we are going to see just how far we can make it into Act 1 before full release. This will give us a good idea of how the game will play when it comes time for it to go live. Version 1.0 is set to release on August 3rd, 2023. Join us as we set forth on our adventure together into the unknown. Make sure to check out our other videos for Outlast Trials, Star Citizen, Path of Titans, and Hunt Showdown. If you would like to join us, links will be in the description box down below to join the InterSleuths. Now without further ado, wish us luck as we sleuth deeper. Alright, that was pretty disturbing.
Oh yeah.
Getting tadpoles shoved in our eyes. Alright, so what are you thinking for team composition going forward here? Let's see. It's a pretty cool looking editor. So I'm going to make a custom character here. Let's see, different types of backgrounds. I wonder if you can do something along the lines of like a criminal paladin, a criminal holy paladin. That would be kind of ironic oxymoron. Folk hero looks kind of cool. You get animal handling proficiency. Wow, there are a lot of backgrounds. Alright, I've looked through all of them. I like folk hero. Guild artisan seems kind of interesting as well. The persuasion proficiency will probably come in handy a lot. Noble also has persuasion proficiency. I'm not sure what survival proficiency... Oh, I can hover over it. Adds a proficiency bonus to any roll made with survival. Athletics is probably making jumps and other things of that nature. Survival probably has to do, I would assume, with like death rolls or maybe damage avoidance rolls or something along those lines.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Sage would probably be pretty good for a caster. Arcana proficiency. Intimidation. I feel like intimidation and persuasion are probably somewhere along the same lines because you can either persuade someone or intimidate them, so it's going to be a conversation driver. Soldier has that. What is this? Urchin? Is that how you pronounce that? Urchin?
Yeah.
That has stealth proficiency and sleight of hand. That'd be good for like a rogue. What type of character are you thinking of going with?
I thought maybe trying Apocalypse. Or no, not Apocalypse. Ac Ac Acolyte.
Oh,
I was
Acolyte
reading
for
that
your
wrong.
background?
Yeah, maybe. Seemed interesting.
Yeah, these are just our backgrounds. Once we go over to race and appearance and class and skills and stuff, we'll actually be able to go more in depth. But I'm trying to think of what would be good to go along the lines of what I might play a paladin. You're probably going to do some form of caster, I take it?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I was already looking at Warlock.
Right. What does entertainer get? Performance and acrobatics. I'm wondering how useful the animal handling proficiency will be for a paladin. Probably not that great. I'm thinking of going with guild artisan because I can get persuasion and insight, which having insight seems very beneficial, and persuasion is probably really beneficial for conversation in these games. I mean, driving the conversation normally is super important. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go with guild artisan. Let's pick my race. I know half-elves are really good for paladin from what I've heard. Because they get... What was it about them? They get the +2 to charisma, base racial speed, fey ancestry, and dark vision. But I think they get bonus strength or something. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can change your subrace. So there's wood half-elf, drow half-elf.
That's cool. They have minor illusion. Create an illusionary image that distracts nearby creatures, compelling them to investigate.
Who has that?
The Warlock currently has that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I don't know if the Wizard gets it. Oh, that's part of cantrips. That's not a spell.
Yeah, so your cantrip should be part of your race, I think. It is a type of spell, but I think it's in its own category. So for High Elf, I can get Firebolt cantrip as the High Elf. But you can change it. You
Yeah.
can customize it and pick a different cantrip if you want. Yeah, I think cantrips have their own set of action points that they consume in combat. True Strike, Divination cantrip, divine a character's defense to give you advantage over your next attack roll against it. But it's intelligence based. And if I'm doing a paladin build, I'm going to be strength based, so I should probably... Actually, all cantrips might be intelligent based because they're all spells of a sort. Yeah. Yeah, they all are.
Oh, these spells are so cool.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Like the Arms of Hadar. Call forth tendrils of dark energy that prevent targets from taking reactions. Or Hellish Rebuke. The next time you take damage, use your reaction to surround your attacker in hellish flames.
That sounds pretty cool. Human is the most versatile, because they have +1 to everything. I just wish some of these cantrips weren't intelligence-based, because playing a paladin, that doesn't really help me too much. So what's a drow half-elf? So they inherited a few magical gifts. They aren't usually raised in the Underdark. So they get dark vision, fey ancestry. Do all of them get that? Yeah, so every subrace gets... Oh, okay, so it says subrace traits. So wood half-elf subrace traits, fleetfoot, and mask of the wild. Your movement speed is 35 feet, and mask of the wild... You were raised to blend into your natural surroundings. You gain proficiency in stealth. That doesn't really help me too much. High Elf subracial traits are base racial speed and a cantrip. And the Drow High Elf gets the cantrip of Dancing Lights. The Githyanki, or Githyanki, might be kind of good because they get +2 to strength. Light and medium armor proficiency. Sword proficiency, long sword proficiency, and great sword proficiency. But their cantrip isn't. Do you think having a intelligence-based cantrip is not a good idea on a strength-based character?
I'm not even... Oh, I just saw the description for what a cantrip is.
It's a type of spell. I think it just has its own dice roll and points.
Cantrips are spells that do not use any spell slots and can be cast at will.
Right. But they do have their own amount of action points. Like, you can't just use them over and over again. So once you use it, you will use up your cantrip, like, dice rolls for that encounter, I believe. Or maybe it's until a short or long rest. A shield dwarf might be pretty good for a paladin, because they get strength +2, light and medium armor proficiency, but they're really good with axes and warhammers, and they have constitution +2 with dwarf resilience. Fey ancestry is kind of interesting. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. That's for high elves. Well, that's for any elf, I think, half elf. Yeah, I think I go high elf. I take 1 into strength, 1 into constitution, and I just choose a cantrip. Let's see, maybe True Strike? Because I can put that on a character to give me advantage on my next attack roll against them. I think that's the move right there. Yep, locking it in. Let's change how I look.
Where to next?
What was that?
I thought the warlock was going to run off of wisdom, but it actually runs off of charisma.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it affects bards, sorcerers, and warlocks, but wisdom affects clerics, druids, and rangers.
Alright, I got my person made up. Let's look over the classes now. Yeah, so I'm leaning towards Paladin. Druid does seem kind of cool, though. If I do pick Paladin, it might make for an interesting playthrough because you take an oath And I don't think you can break that. I think you can, like, accidentally break that oath. There were some people who were talking about how they had to ease up. They may have already done it. There may have been an update or a hotfix or something, but they said they needed to ease up on what actually constitutes you breaking your oath. Because they would do something as simple as, like, ignore someone or something, and it was like you broke your oath. When they get back to camp, the Oathbreaker Paladin would be there waiting for them. So we have Oath of Ancients and Oath of Devotion. So, Oath of Devotion is the ideal knight in shining armor. You act with honor and virtue to protect the weak and pursue the greater good. Oath of the Ancients. Struggle against darkness to preserve the sanctity of life and the beauty of nature. Does this change? Oh yes, it does. It changes your actions. So you either have Healing Radiance or Holy Rebuke. Call upon your oath to grant an ally a vengeful aura that deals 1d4 radiant damage to anyone who hits them with a melee attack. Or Oath of the Ancients. Call upon your oath to let nature heal all nearby allies for 3 healing. That doesn't seem like a very strong heal. I think I'm gonna go Devotion. Let's look over skills. So you'll receive a bonus to every skill that you are proficient in. This bonus increases as you gain levels in your class and applies to all checks for that skill. Proficiency bonus +2. I've inherited Insight, Persuasion, both from Guild Artisan. My background gave me an additional Insight. Oh no, that's from that, yeah, so that's showing me that I'm gaining that from there. Okay, so I have a point I can move around skills with proficiency. So Athletics, stay fit, performing physical stunts. Religion, recognize deities, understand holy rites. Or Medicine, recognize symptoms and diagnose disease. I'll probably go with Religion just to fit with the whole theme of being a holy type of paladin. And then abilities. So this is where... Okay, yeah, so you can only put so many points into... You can't, like, stat pack all into strength or intelligence. Oh, you can go higher. It just takes more points. So in order for me to go over a 16... Yeah, Grim, when you're doing your abilities, if you want to... The more points you want to put into a specific ability point, it will require more and more points to keep putting points into it. So it's like compound interest on there. But it does look like some of them... It looks like some of them you can't go above. Like Charisma I can go above 16, but I cannot get Strength above a 16. So 16 strength, dexterity is agility, reflexes, and balance. Constitution is hit points. Intelligence, wisdom. Yeah, I don't really need much into wisdom at all. Charisma influences trader prices, spellcasting. I can probably sacrifice a little bit of charisma since I already have an additional +2. Who attracts you? Probably gonna go with human, I'm not gonna lie here. The Tiefling is literally a demon.
That's the character I'm playing.
This is interesting. Why are we're making whatever we find attractive, apparently. Some of these tattoos are pretty cool. Alright, I have made my lady here. Oh, here we go.